to win it for Canada. Long backhander scores!
The following presentation is brought to you by HN Live in partnership with Source for Sports.
In 2025, the Under-17 World Hockey Challenge returns to the maritime province of Nova Scotia. Truro, the site of the 32nd annual event, as we welcome you inside the Millbrook First Nation Arena and the Rath Eastlink Community Center at hnlive.ca. My name is Dave Dawson. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, wherever you are joining us from in this wonderful evening contest between Team Canada White and Team Sweden. Canada Red kicked the tournament off with an 8-4 victory over Finland earlier on today, as the third and fourth of 6 teams will go toe-to-toe to wrap up day number 1 on game number 2 on day number 1 of this tournament. We'll go in-house to Roger Soret for public address.
The Chief Medical Officer for the 2025 U17 World Challenge, and bringing special representative of John Ross and Sons, and also a player on the U13 AAA Truro Bearcats for today's ceremonial face-off. Now, for the two captains, please meet at center ice for the ceremonial face-off. Nous invitons les deux capitaines à se rendre au centre de la glace pour la mise au jeu protocolaire. Make some noise!
The exchanging of the customs, and we're getting ready for action on game number 2 as we have a look at Team Canada White's starting goaltender. He is 16-year-old Cash Christie, who hails from North Vancouver, British Columbia. In 4 games this year for South Alberta Hockey Academy in the Canadian Sports School Hockey League's Under-18 prep program. He's 3-0 as a starter, 243 goals against, .936 save percentage, a 4th-round draft pick of the Medicine Hat Tigers in 2024. Team Canada's head coach is Scott Barney, who is in the gray suit in the middle there, 2nd year with Sudbury of the Ontario Hockey League as their head coach. Swedish head coach is Thomas Pannanen, who is on the left there between the 3 guys with ties and suits. He is also the head coach of their Under-18 program in his 3rd season doing the Holinka Gretzky group as well as this Under-17. He also coached their Junior A World Challenge group. And starting goalie today for Sweden will be Fabian Salaska-Neas out of Stockholm. He stands 6'2", 176, the 16-year-old. 5 games for Björklöven in their Under-18 program this year. He's 4-1 as a starter, 157 goals against and a 942 save percentage. And we are underway for game number 2 and the under-17 World Challenge. Eric Serkey, my camera operator, the fantastic Jane, our score clock engineer, and shot is blocked, and right away a break for Canada. White down the wing, bursting in, can't get a clean shot away as Brenner Layman's, the Langdon, Ontario native, and McCaslin puts one at the goal. Great pace to this, and already an early power play for Canada as they're firing on all cylinders with the extra attacker on the ice. As Maddox Schultz now out there, eyes on him for this tournament, and there'll be a lot of stories told about number 19 in white. As for now, a customary exchanging of the customs and a holding call for Sweden as Team Canada, white, heads to their first power play of the hockey game. Canada Red scored an early goal less than a minute in. Even strength. Penalized Sweden player to the box. This is the 9th meeting all time between these two programs. Canada holds an edge 4-2-2. Canada White has won 2 of the last 3 meetings. Sweden the last meeting, a 5-4 overtime contest and last year's preliminary tournament. It is Alexander Forrest out of St. Catharines, Ontario, Kitchener Rangers second round pick, who headbands it to Maddox Schultz. First overall pick in the Western Hockey League, TELUS Cup champion, scored the winner in overtime on HN Live, called by the wonderful Sean Mullen, who's in Newfoundland right now, doing the under-18 women's. And there's where Schultz delivered it from, and a save early for Salaskinayas. At the line, fires, blocker save. Liam Pugh, the second overall pick, teammate of Schultz, across, fires again over top. More pressure on for Canada White. Both these groups lost in pre-tournament action on Friday. Pugh out of Forests, deflected by Wysick in front, and Schultz pitchforks it to the line, and Forrest has to go back to start things out for Canada White. Caden Stroder, the Edmonton Oil Kings of the Western Hockey League first round pick, goes off for a change, and Canada White will start things out from their own zone. McGregor on the hinge to Chitteroni. High praises and expectations for that young man. His brother's a good hockey player too, the third overall pick for Ottawa. Chitteroni now at the line for Hamilton. Cross ice. Return feed for Hamilton. Pass Chitteroni, as the Swedes will send it down the ice. Thomas Pannanen, their head coach, told me before the game there's a lot of nerves in the Swedish room right now. Feels they'll settle in here early, and a strong penalty kill could be what the doctor ordered to get out of danger pretty quickly. Roberts now, the son of NHL legend Gary Roberts, up to Ben Harvey. Round behind the net it goes for Canada White's Alex Kuhlman. Shot on, O'Coin, another son there of an NHLer. Deflected, it's in! He scores! Aiden Bouchard took the shot. There was traffic in front. And Alex Kuhlman, a Kingston product, 9th overall pick, gets the opening goal for Team Canada White. Son of Nikolai Kuhlman, NHL alumnus. Power play strikes for Canada, I believe. Player was still in the box. Certainly at the very end of the penalty. Officials not happy with the setup here. And the first zone time for Sweden as shot is blocked off the stick of Ole Zetterstedt. Uli Zetterstedt. Panadin called him one of the higher skilled players on this group. And his stats will show it. More on that in a sec as it's into the Swedish zone. On the exit, Zetterstedt in his feet. And McCaslin. Contact along the wall will separate body from puck, and the Swedes will take over. Lead feed taken away again. Matt Henderson, Sarnia, Ontario native, takes it off the stick. Maddox Schultz, free puck for him, 3-on-1. Liam Hughes in, return feed, he scores! Some familiarity. And a beauty. Schultz, Pugh, they go out of the seats for those two guys in Regina. Great chemistry already. Nice goal in transition, defensive breakdown. 2-0 Canada White. Two guys you don't want going in all alone on a 2-on-0. Charbonneau backtracks and rolls his man into the end boards. That's Viggo Nygren. And a penalty call coming right in front of the official. As Nygren goes into the end boards, Thomas Charbonneau a little bit too aggressive with the stick will put Sweden to the power play for the first time. The Finns scored 4 power play goals against Canada Red in an 8-4 loss. We saw a look at the Canadian power play. Let's see what Sweden's got to offer. Schwartz blows a tire, had support, cleared down the ice. Foot chase. Douglas Janssen wants to drop it back, is forced to carry it over himself and didn't do too bad in that. Sent back outside of the zone though. There's Milan Sundström. 5 goals, 21 points, and 9 games for Modo so far. That goes up into the Canada White bench. As we have a look at Chitteroni, his brother Mason, a member of the Greater Sudbury Cubs Centennial Cup, and this guy, Brock Chitteroni, no slouch at hockey. 3rd overall pick in the OHL draft, already got 6 points in 13 games. Native of Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, 59 points for Barrie, 16 AAA last year. Back to the line, Janssen. We'll negotiate it around on the return feed. Janssen doesn't like what he sees. Shot is knocked down by a Canadian defender, and they'll take no time in clearing it down the ice. First one on it is Chitteroni. As Janssen looks for some options here. Sundström is behind him. Drops it on the hinge. As Forsberg, takes the option to the right wing side. It's Louis Carlson. And Sweden not able to get set up here in the early goings in the player advantage. 40 seconds left in the power play for the Swedes. Uli Tornqvist, 30 points in 12 games for a Rebro and under 18 so far in league play. As Ben Harvey to scoot in for Canada, 1-on-4, holding his own there just fine, is he? It's Nielsen now, in for Sweden. Second layer, able to break it up. Schwartz now with Harvey, 2v2, crosses wide, Schwartz penetrates, fires, and the goalie got a piece of it, Sloskin Ayas, and steered it away. dying seconds of the Finnish power play, or the Swedish power play, excuse me. Not able to muster much up at all. Not even a shot on goal. 6-0 in favor of Canada White in that category, unofficially in the early goings. Aiden Bouchard had a hand in that. As they'll enter back in, will Sweden. Nielsen drops it off. Easy save, or was it? Maybe a little more difficult than it needed to be. Let's finally get their first shot on goals. We have a look at U17 from Tornio, Finland. 10 games for Luleå, and under 18 this year is 5 points. Part of the junior national program last year with their under 18s. And all international play, excuse me, I should say, 7 points through 16 games last year with under 18. Side of things for Sweden. Hamilton to Bouchard. They'll sweep through center, Pugh. And Schultz out there. That's a lot of goals in minor hockey already, as they're each just starting their Western Hockey League career in Regina. Regina hasn't been shy on elite hockey players over the year either. And here they go again. Stroder to Pugh. He scores! Fragrant from Pugh. Absolute ridiculous pass from the Oil Kings. Caden Stroder. Right on the tape. Back of the net. 3 rep for Canada White. And Thomas Pandinen has seen enough. It's Caden Stroder. Smiles ear to ear. On the Canada White bench, Kyle Chipchura on the right there in the black suit with the tie and the white shirt. To the left of, to the right of Scott Barney. Right in your viewfinder. Chipchura, NHL veteran. He's actually the assistant coach of the Edmonton Oil Kings in his first full season there. Coaches Caden Stroder, and told me that compete is one of the first things he's noticed from this group. And Chipchura's NHL veteran, almost 500 games, played Hlinka Gretzky Cup as well as the World Junior Championship, and become good friends with that guy. Coached at NAX, Northern Alberta Extreme in Edmonton as well. Was pretty excited to see him today, and had great things to say about his experience on the early goings of this tournament, and I think you can say pretty good things about the outcome so far for Canada White. Unlike that play right there, Sundstrom, however, they recover quickly with speed through neutral. 3-on-2, cross ice feed to McGregor to Wysick. Couldn't finish, just past his stick. Sweden lost 6-2 to Finland in their opening game of the pre-tournament action, I should say. Well, Kyle Chipchura told me he would have preferred a better start against the Americans, as Canada White lost 6-4. Sweden hopes to recoup here. Should tell you this broadcast as well is brought to you by our great friends at Source for Sports. Experience the feeling of getting fit like the pros at your local Source for Sports. Their experts will get you into the right gear that fits your game. Grateful for our relationship with Source for Sports, and certainly looking forward to a bright future there, as you'll find their logo all over our highlights and have for years. Adrenaline Source for Sports in Calgary, big part of that. Forrest off the glass. Sent right back into the Canada zone. I imagine media timeout will be key for Sweden as well, as they did take their timeout already, but to settle things in a little more. And as you did hear the comment from head coach Thomas Pandinen, nerves could be a factor, and early penalty didn't help that cause out as well. Pandinen saw him in Camrose at the Junior A World Challenge, so I did those games back in December as well. It was good to see him again. Bright smile from him, and love my relationships that I've been able to build in all the levels. As Chitteroni turns on the Jets down the wing, rubbed out though nice defensively as the Swedes try to activate, and they turnover. However, congestion through neutral. Nielsen tries to feather one through, ends up going through the legs, and allow the Canadian skater to go back and pick it up. It's Alex Kulemin. Dumped into the Canada zone. Charbonneau has a look. And U17 will have to flip it out. Not clean though, as Canada White will happily bring it back in. Kuhlman. Nilsson now. Again, another flip pass through center. Seen that quite a bit from the Swedes already. As Kuhlman picks up the loose change, trying to hit his man through center. Each group making monetary changes. 4v2 for Sweden. Cross the blue line. Rubbed out along the far wall, though, as the Canadians converge. Near the midway point of period one. Great start for Canada White. Only one shot against right now, and it was from distance. Stenlund wants to change that. Another one from distance. Blocked by Kuhlman. Got some Nikolai to him, don't he? And spanked down the ice. Knocked down with a high stick because it's an icing call. As we look at number 25 for Sweden, Jesse Suopanski. 6 foot, 195, or 165 rather. Swedes activate through center. Sent in by Suopanki. Bounce in front, a dangerous one, and the Canadians able to get it out of the way was Schultz. Swinging through neutral. Bursting wide is Stroder. Backhand. Doink. Caught iron. Humboldt Bronco alum can rip a puck up quick. O'Coin at the net. In front. Schultz knocked down. Back to his feet quickly. Saskatchewan line here. Like the flavor there. Head coach, a alumnus of the Humboldt Broncos in the SJHL. As Pugh heads behind the goal. Great numbers for him last year. 30 goals, 50 points in under 18. The JPHL. 29 games played there. Langley, BC. And some confusion as each groups are changing. Puck just laying around the blue line. Sweden will take it and dump it in. However, that's icing. Because of the two icings, we're still not going to get to the media timeout. Come back into the Sweden zone. Confusion, not going to let the last Swedish player change as Elliot Latinen will have to head off the ice. Hamilton off the draw, has room and tight, lots of daylight. Salaskinea set to make a good save. Hamilton again activates, trying to open up the zone. Allows someone the ability for a one-timer. Calder Hamilton just going for a skate at the net again. Calder Hamilton, by the way. Hold on, we'll hold that thought. We'll come back to it. Media timeout here in Truro, Nova Scotia. We'll come back to the Under-17 World Challenge shortly.
It's one of the fiercest rivalries in all of sport. The unmatched thrill of playing for your country. It's the clash of hometown heroes. The unsurpassed skill of international stars. It's Canada versus the United States. The experience, unforgettable. Be there when our rivalry continues. Get your tickets at hockeycanada.ca.
At Source for Sports, we fit skates for everyone from first-timers to first-liners. These Source-exclusive Bauer Supreme Matrix skates are built for power and top-end speed. We actually just fit a pair for Baranovich.
Whoa, these are for Baranovich?
Baranovich? Baranovich?
He needed specific footbeds and a blade profile for his style of play. Mr. Baranovich.
Hey Adam, are my skates ready?
Got him right here.
Thanks, Adam.
Calder Hamilton now off the ice for Team Canada White. Had a great story on him. I'll try and get it in quickly. Scored 3 shorthanded goals in one game in a U17 tournament in Edmonton, Alberta, back a couple years ago. I called that game. 4 goals in a game, 3 shorthanded on 1 5-minute major. As Team Canada White now through the media timeout, an offensive zone face-off. And Hamilton making a great career for himself, a first-round pick of the Calgary Hitmen, 6th overall, and enjoying a start to his Western League career. We're back in Truro, Nova Scotia. Dave Dawson, Eric Serkis, my cameraman, producer, and we're enjoying our time in Nova Scotia again. Truro is one of our favorite stops on the calendar. I know Eric couldn't wait to get here, and we're happy to be back here again. As Sweden looks to enter the zone, good physical play by Maddox Schultz. Schultz, I believe, played in that same U15 tournament in the Edmonton area. Had a look at him and Sirkin. Schultz is only 13 years old in that tournament, though, in a U15. Canada's forecheck, back check, defensive presence, phenomenal. Champions of the tournament last year, Chitteroni. 10 shots to 1 unofficially. Tremendous start for Canada. Some rough stuff in front involving Leymans. It's Brenner Leymans, the Langton, Ontario native. It's a first round, 4th overall pick of Sarnia in the OHL. He's already got 2 points through 9 games. In fact, this tournament, if you're viewing it for the first time, a gathering on the Canadian side of all first and second round, pretty much, major junior picks, the U.S. national development team, and the other country's highest elite end players of this age group. This, in a lot of ways, for argument's sake, is really a preview of the World Junior Championship teams in 2 or 3 years, 4 years. That is how high-end these players are. An honor for me to be able to do this for my first time. Mr. Peter Labardius, a name you'll know very well, will be joining us midweek. Excited to bring him along board for this. Some more rough stuff as Sweden's trying to get the juice going. So Canadian goals, Alex Kuhlman for Maiden Bouchard. And then a minute and 2 seconds later was Maddox Schultz from Liam Pugh, and then Liam Pugh from Caden Stroder at 7:19. That's the connection early. So we'll be joined by a member of Sweden at the end of the opening period for a short interview. Shot is blocked still. Oh, I guess they credit it with, maybe it did reach the goal from my vantage point. 2 shots on goal for the Swedes here. That's certainly an area to improve on going forward. Captain Obvious, Aiden Bouchard, Edge School alumni. Calgary area up to Roberts, a familiar name in these parts. Kuhlman puts one on. Salaska Neas steers that out, and the Swedes up ice the other way. Gonna penetrate and find a soft spot, some quiet ice, but way too much noise in hockey terms in the Canadian zone. They have congested so well, suffocating any opportunity. Oh, penalty call coming up. It's gonna be hooking. That will not help Sweden's causes at all as they'll head back to the penalty box. Canada's goal, by the way, was not on the power play. It was an even strength one, so they are 0 for 1. So their second opportunity. Pugh, Wysick, and Strader, the forward line, to kick things off for Canada White. Forrest off the draw. Schultz patrolling from the point. Can play really any position. I'd be surprised if he was not a good goaltender as well. Pugh into Forrest. Look at him. Forrest, big rebound. Stroder swung at it, couldn't get it. Zetterstedt making a spinneroonie, couldn't get it towards the goal, and Canada White as Sweden's changing while Wysick activates Schultz. Looking for the return feed. Edge just so gently by the Swedish player to interrupt his stride. Below the goal line, sent along, and Forrest will chuck it down again. Schultz into Stroder, fires, big save, rebound, loose puck, Slaskanaz, Snow Angel out in front, and gets a glove on it to prevent any further damage. Now, getting some refreshments, why not? He's been a busy boy so far. Vilmer, Salian, Forsberg backing him up tonight. 14 shots already to 2 in favor of Team Canada White, who in this tournament have outscored Sweden by a margin of 26-22 in history. So, not a large margin. Looking for the backdoor feed. McGregor right in the blue paint. Lehman's there trying to help out. Pressure at the line, quick to Chitteroni. Chitteroni, zipper, right into Slaskanaz, and some late traffic. McGregor not happy with that as groups engage the official. We'll say no, not today, and no penalty call. Off the draw, cleared. 40 seconds left in the Canadian power play. The agile Calder Hamilton start things out. Sent back on their heels as the Canadians will regroup. It's Eli McCamey, the Cowichan Bay, BC product. He plays for Victoria in the Western Hockey League, and he gets bumped on his entry into the zone as Hamilton will stop it at the line. Chitteroni wants it, didn't get the puck there, and outside the zone it goes again with 10 left in the man advantage. McGregor on the up quickly to McCamey, shot is blocked. Chipped ahead, the Swedes might have something. No, turned over at the line. Good stick by Lehmans. And up and ahead, Swedes have a break, 3-on-2, one-timer, good toe save. Pad still frozen for Cash Christie. Only the third puck on those things so far. See if that might give Sweden a bit of momentum, but they got to get the puck back. Canadians doing a good job possessing it. That's what Swedish head coach Thomas Pannanen told me before the game. They got to possess the puck. Haven't had it a lot. Sundstrom carries it. Back end's changing, and that caused confusion at the line, which they'll have to trail as Yuli Tornquist will be the first one to start it out. Pestered from the backside. Able to shake it off well. Forsberg with them. Tornquist sent to the outside. A little more physicality out of the group in gold and blue as well. So trying to get something on the board, some kind of momentum to carry over into period 2. Hops over the stick of Jesse Siopansky. Hard hit there from McCoy. Dad could throw a hit or two as well in his NHL career. Out comes Canada White. Wysick trails after it. Sent in and going after on his own is Ryan Hanrahan of Sagan on the OHL. Other way come the Swedes though. Backhander out in front and taken away smartly by Wysick. Good layer of support, helping out his D. Hanrahan drops it, Charbonneau. Charbonneau fires, blocker save through traffic, and not an easy one at all for the Swedish tender. 17-3 the shots, just over 2 to go. Left wing feed. Noel Nord trying to get something going here for Sweden. Through traffic, puck's right there on his stomach, and without a stick is Christie. Sweden buzzing. Tornqvist through traffic, goes wide. Johansson wants to hold fort, can't. Smartly retreats with Wysick there at the end of his shift. Johansson now. Quick up, Nielsen saw Charbonneau at the last second and probably made a good decision not touching the puck, or else he might have had a pretty high-level contact. Maddox Schultz up to Pugh. Pugh with Stroder. Pugh dancing in. Schultz picks up the loose change. Stroder now. And behind the goal, frees it up. Back at the line. O'Coin. Now Schultz has a quick look, sees Pugh, toe drag, oh what a move! Liam Pugh just puts one low, blocker wide. Kid can dangle. Liam Pugh certainly filled the shoes well of the expectations that accompanied him. And Pugh, what a move again! Liam Pugh, he scores! Absolute filthy. Toe drag, bar down. A beauty. 4-0, Canada White. That Saskatchewan connection. Well, one guy from BC, but two play in Saskatchewan, and two are from Saskatchewan. So maybe the Saskatchewan connection line, I don't know. Am I wrong? Who knows? Christie on the dump in. Crazy swing of momentum as Sweden was oh so close to scoring moments ago, and instead Canada the other way. A big swing of a play. Dying seconds of period one and a great start for Canada White. Ben Harvey, alumnus of Northern Alberta Extreme. Called quite a few of his games throughout the years as well. Have eye for Ben Harvey of Canada White, number 20. He's part of a line change. One last face-off here. We'll step aside shortly and come back with an interview. Called games of Harvey's younger brother who plays for Okanagan Hockey Academy in Edmonton, Alberta. The Canadian Sports School Hockey League about a month ago. As Bouchard touches it, that is the end of the opening period, and not until things get a little testy. Referees clear it, cooler heads prevail. We'll be joined by a Swedish player coming up. We'll be back to Truro, Nova Scotia. A commanding 4-0 lead for Team Canada White through 20 minutes of play now, joined by Douglas Janssen of Team Sweden. Douglas, can you put a finger on where things maybe got away from you guys in the opening period?
I think we started off pretty weak. We didn't control the puck, the game, and we just shoot the puck away and didn't have a control on it. So we need to come out stronger in the second period and show who we are.
How do you generate more offense?
Yeah, I would say take the puck on the zones and not take it on like pass it on the stick and just go and forecheck and take it, go from there.
Okay. Douglas, appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Douglas U17 says, could use some more offense in period 2, and good thing that there's still 40 minutes of hockey left to play. We'll be back to Truro, Nova Scotia shortly for the Under-17 World Hockey Challenge.
To have the chance to play against the best teams, it's obviously an honor. You know, we did our part in Regina, and we came here to win.
I've seen him all the way up, so I've watched him play since he was a young kid. So I knew we were getting a special player when he was coming in, and then when he came in and was doing the things he was doing, it's impressive to watch.
I think it's just hard work. Obviously, in the summer, I've been putting a lot of work in and taking my skills to the next level. And this year, our coaches and our players have really developed me more as a player. So shout out to them because it's been a great year so far. And I think it's just hard work that has got me here.
That's been pretty exciting. I mean, he's had a great year, but our team's had a great year. So Maddox has a pretty big role in the Pack Canadians. They work really as a unit. Like, that team is pretty cohesive. They got great leadership. So his success has been due to team success, due to the program and the support that he's getting both on and off the ice.
When your top player works as hard as he does, I mean, it's hard not to work alongside him. So he leads by example, and he's just a good teammate. He makes everybody around him better.
He's had a hockey stick like most Canadian kids in his hand. As soon as he could hold something, it was a hockey stick. And our basement is battered, and our living room is battered. Our whole house is battered because he's had one there, and that's been a priority for him. And it's been fun watching him year after year elevate his game to a new level and have a new challenge. And I think that compete kind of drives it for him.
Schultz to the net, score!
Maddox has always been a mature kid. He's always been eager to play with the older kids. He's been eager to play up. He's been eager to put himself in a situation where kids are bigger, stronger, faster.
Slowly progressing throughout the year and developing into the league. I think it's been real good, but it's the start of a new beginning, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to this tournament.
He had an opportunity to meet Connor Bedard, being in Regina with Bedard being a Regina Pat for 3 years. You get to see how your heroes handle themselves. You realize if it ever comes to you, if you're lucky enough to have that come to you, you got a role to play for the next generation of Canadian kids.
He gets a lot of attention that he rightfully deserves, but I mean, he's a modest kid. I mean, he's a team first guy, and that's what's really impressive. He does the right things all the time, so like, wherever he goes, he's gonna excel.
I think you just gotta take it day by day, stuff that's gonna come in the future. So yeah, I think I've been doing a pretty good job of it so far.
Being here at the TELUS Cup at the National Championship is such a great way to finish the season. It's kind of the culmination of all the games put together, so we're hoping it goes well.
And a shot, scored! The hat trick for Maddox Schultz. What a debut at the TELUS Cup.
I grew up playing minor hockey at Killarney. I was about, I think, 8 or 9 years old when I first started, and I instantly fell in love with goaltending because of the gear, the helmets, the pads. I was in, so I think it was one ice time before I went in net. I just loved it. I struggled, as you can imagine, as being a goaltender in my first time with all that gear, but it was an amazing experience and one that just drew me in. I'd met some amazing coaches, some coaches that really inspired me and helped develop me. Through those experiences, I was able to, accomplish a few things, like get into the BC Best Ever program and play for the BC Winter Games and do some pretty cool stuff that way. After coming back from university, I got into a job, just everyday life, got into it. But I felt like I lost a part of myself. I think a lot of athletes kind of go through that when things come to an end, and I thought, why not get into goalie coaching and keep myself involved.
For you young goalies, a lot of what you learn in sports is something you will take into real life.
I started off literally from the bottom as far as coaching, starting my own company, creating a brand. Thankfully, I was able to continue to get through those times and network myself as I started growing, getting these amazing opportunities, whether it's the NHL Coach Association or the AHL Mentorship Program, or working with Team Canada, the women's national team. Was, all those things were amazing. And then being in BC, having the ask to work with the POE program, which is the Performance of Excellence, the Team BC, males and female, just to help on the goalie side of things. You know, it's been phenomenal.
Joey's had a huge impact on me personally. I mean, every day he shows up to the rink with positivity, with a smile. He wants the best for us. He wants to help us reach our full potential. And I think every day, like, I try and instill some of those values into my life. He's always learning. He's always trying to make himself better and make his goalies better. And I think that's something that you can't teach.
Getting to see some of the, you know, the athletes that I've worked with since they were 7, and then they go to get a university scholarship or go on to play for Team Canada on U Sports, and then to see them just grow from what they were to who they are now, it's always amazing, because the relationships that we build along the way, their journey, they go on for a lifetime.
What does the puck see now? The whole net. You got it.
His positivity and his personality. I think like bringing a really awesome personality into coaching really helps like self-confidence for a goaltender. As the goaltender goes on, he plays more games, get into higher level stuff. And the same thing with the coach too. Like you have to be able to adapt to the player, adapt to the goalie, adapt with the coach as well too. So I think Joey's done an awesome job throughout the years being able to do that for myself.
We won a championship in 2021 with him. So he brings a high level of intelligence to the game, but he's also quite brilliant in how he interacts with the players. He's just loving his job. He's loving it day to day, you know, whether he's working with junior kids or tyke 5-year-olds, right? Every time that I see him on the ice, he's big smile on his face. He's bringing the energy. He's fun to have around.
All right, let's make some noise. Here we go, starting lineup, let's go!
I got involved in blind hockey in 2014. I was up for it. I thought, yeah, absolutely. It's only gonna make me a better coach. If I can help a visually impaired person, I'm sure it's gonna help me find other ways to be able to help sighted athletes as well. I know what sports brought to my life and how it's enriched my life, and I know how it can enrich others. So making an impact with these athletes and these individuals, knowing what their life is like without sport.
Way to go, Black, way to go, Black.
If you can give people an opportunity to fall in love with the game and you have the avenues to do so, I think you should. And I think Joey would second that. I think that's what he's trying to do, is he's trying to grow the love of the game. It's cool to see the multicultural aspect of hockey, especially in Canada, how that's growing. And he's able to reach out to a lot of players that some of us couldn't. He's doing a great job of it.
For me, hockey has given me a lot of life skills. I meet amazing people. Ever since playing it, I've met people I would never meet. I've been to places I probably would never have been. I've had experiences that I would never have. And it's only made me a better person. But yeah, I love the game. I love being competitive. I love having a chance to go out and win something and bringing people together, where it's a community, a team, a whole nation. I love it all.
Hi, I'm Willa, and I'm here with
Dean Smith, Chair of Diversity and Inclusion with Hockey Nova Scotia. And we're happy to be here to celebrate 130 years since the establishment of the Colored Hockey League of the Maritimes. To see community come out as strong as they have to celebrate this weekend has been nothing short of amazing.
Shall we go skating? I like your jacket. So bright. Woo! Look at him.
Seeing a bunch of people out here that look like us today, it means a lot. It warms you up to hear the stories and be with the people, and then hear the history of people that you didn't know.
This is a weekend of firsts. We're celebrating the very first game of the Colored Hockey League of the Maritimes, which happened on February 27th in 1895. We're celebrating the first all-black line to play in AUS hockey, which was the St. Mary's University line of Percy Paris, Bob Dawson, and Daryl Maxwell. And we're celebrating a first for our memorial game. We have an all-female line, and you are part of that female line, as well as Evie Rothenberg and Charlotte Ardain. And we're very excited to see that first shift that you put in, so you better bring it.
Have a good game, ladies.
Thank you.
We can't get 2 goals if we don't get the first one.
You're right. You're right.
Come on now, come on.
That's a great quote. Yeah, we're next. Same order. Right here? Okay. Get out. Yeah, I will drop the gloves with you. All right. Okay. Big tie. 8 seconds left.
We have our Black Youth Ice Hockey program coming out to do an exhibition, 4-on-4 mini game, and we also have our BIPOC advancing competitive kids coming out to do a skills competition. We have to show the youth of today we have a history in this game and that they belong.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Good game. Good game. Good game, you guys. Good game. Good game, buddy. Good game.
I love hockey. You're so good for your first time. Thank you, Hockey Canada Foundation, for giving me an assist.
Team Canada White, 4-0. Heading into period number 2, 3 points of that come from the line of Liam Pugh, Caden Stroder, and Maddox Schultz. Pugh 2 goals and 1 assist. Schultz with a goal, and Strader has a couple of helpers. Stroder, I keep flip-flopping between that. By the way, Pugh and Schultz, 2 of only 3 2010 aged players in this tournament. The last time a 2010 aged player for Canada was Matt Savoy back in 2019. 2021, it was Matt Savoy, that I know. Don't quote me on the year. 2 high-end players are making a high impact on day number 1 as anticipated, and here we are, underway for period 2. Dave Dawson is my name, Eric Serkey, my cameraman engineer. Jane Ogilvie is the director of officials. Tournament chair, no, she's our volunteer. I've been joking with her about different titles. She says she organizes the off-ice officials. We appreciate her helping us out, running our score clock for you. Canada White looking pretty good so far. Canada Red an 8-4 victory, and game number 1 over Finland. Each of these groups lost in their pre-tournament action. And a great chat with Kyle Chepchura before the game about adjusting to the East Coast. We'll get on that later this period. Sweden only a room to improve from this point going on, as not an incredible performance in the shot department or the offensive department in the opening period. Outshot 20-4. I believe they took one off. Now 19-5 on the clock, so it's 20-4 on the online scoring. We'll come back to that in a second. It's Canada now. Stroder, cross-ice feed, hot on the tape for Pugh already with 2. Back out through center again, Forrest. As Stroder's got a tag up. Hard bump there from Forrest. He finds it, advances to Schultz. Schultz knifes it in. O'Coin engages, Stroder to Pugh, just missed on the blocker side. Sweden making some changes. Lone forward in, trying to grind it out, get some zone time. Ends up on a stomach, that's Yuli Villian. And Christie gloves it down. A little more physicality out of Sweden to begin period 2, which, oh boy! Speaking of physicality, Schultz to the max. Good contact there at center. Wysick now puts on the brakes. As McGregor, the first overall pick in the Ontario Hockey League, couldn't connect for that offensive sequence, and Canada's back out again. Bouchard took the shot that was tipped for the first goal of the game today. Right into McGregor. Backhander, it's McCamey, excuse me, and McGregor's there on the side of the goal. As McCamey and company will look to set up for the face-off. That's Eli McCamey out of Cowichan Bay, BC. Remember the Victoria Royals in the Western Hockey League. He's committed to North Dakota for 26-27. Second-round pick of Victoria back in 2024. A couple of former Victoria Royals now enjoying their NCAA career. Cole Reshny and Keaton Verhoff. Reshny already drafted in the NHL, and Verhoff will very likely be a top 5 pick in June. Played in this tournament as well, as I believe I mentioned. Kuhlman trying to fish it out as one of the goals today. Well, Sweden's out, 3v3. Short side offering over the shoulder of Christie. And all the way back down. Got a good story on Cash Christie that I was made aware of by Jason LaRose Communications for Hockey Canada Intermission, which was an amusing but also very intriguing fact. We'll try and get that in the broadcast at some point in time today. Always great to dig deep into the lives of these incredible athletes and tell some of the great stories. I enjoy that part so much about what I do. And Layman's now trying to bring it along the wall and engaged with the stick in the body, but no penalty. Held it at the line. Ditched. Cross ice, Charbonneau. He's skating in. Fires. Doink. Catches some iron and goes out of play. Get some help from your goalpost, is Salascaneas right now, as he gets some refreshments as well. The 16-year-old Stockholm product. In under 17 international play last year, 907 save percentage in a contest there. Oh, excuse me, that's this year. Gotta read my notes properly. Reading has always been one of my challenges. No, it's not, just kidding. Self-deprecation always drops well in a broadcast as Schwartz lines up in the draw. Sweet streak through center. Big rebound, and it's in. He scores. Tom Bjorman on the Zetterstedt rebound. Drove the net hard. Stick on the ice on their 8th shot on goal. Sweden is on the board. Ole Zetterstedt has 16 goals and 26 points in 10 games for Frölunda in their under-18 program so far this season. Was one of their prospects, his coach told me, to keep an eye on in this contest tonight. Drove the net hard. Bjorman stick on the ice on the rebound. And Tom gets Sweden their first goal of the hockey game. A goal and 12 points for Färjestad's under-18 group so far in the league play, and 25-26. Hanrahan can't catch up with it as Janssen Kaslin on the near wall. 3 Swedes converge, trying to create a turnover, and they do. Shot from distance, and Christie fights that one off into the corner. As expected, some momentum for Team Sweden from that. Deflected again on the flyby as Janssen. Great heads-up play just to deliver it at the goal. Liked what I've seen out of that young man so far, Douglas Janssen, the Luleå, Sweden native. Through 9 games for Skellefteå in their under-18 group this year, has 13 points. Patrols the back end well for Sweden. Now the goal here could change the flavor of this game considerably, which Canada dominated in the opening 20 minutes. Forrest trying to get out of it right now. On the touch, the bump up play, and that might put Sweden on the power play. No, undetected by the official. Play will continue. Kuhlman along the wall for support. Canada White speeding through center, taken away. Janssen might have a break for Sweden. I don't think he realized he was all alone. He was expecting a player to come from the backside. Janssen shot is blocked. Might be a break for Canada as Louis Carlson had nothing but daylight on the entire way to the goal. Instead, he had his rear view mirror, expecting traffic to come, which it did. So a break for Canada as they can breathe a little bit to settle things back down after the momentum meter pushed in the Swedish favor after their goal. Dumped into the Sweden zone. Pace picking up a little bit here in period 2 as it's a little more even par than it was in the opening contest. Dave Dawson here on HMLive.ca, proud providers for Hockey Canada and the streaming department, which, by the way, this broadcast is brought to you by the fine folks of Source for Sports. Experience the feeling of getting fit like the pros at your local Source for Sports. Their experts will get you into the right gear that fits your game. So Kuhlman got things going early. Schultz, Pugh, and another one from Pugh. And the Swedes have responded, and they continue to put the pressure on. Turning and firing, just missed on the blocker side did Zetterstedt. As the goal scorer, Bjurman, tries to find some open ice, shovels one at the goal, and touched away by Cash Christie. Better transition here for Sweden in period 2 as they enter the zone. Held up momentarily, play will continue as Viggo Forsberg trying to create some offense for Sweden, and Hamilton on the headman play on the right wing side, Bouchard to Pugh. Pugh fires, blocked, and a piece of it got from the defender as Stroder now. 5 Swedish players around him, but he flips one up to Schultz. Cheeky little flip play behind. Stroder was hoping for a white, got yellow. Held in at the line, Henderson through his legs will have to skate back. If he scores today, pretty excited about the goal call that awaits. In front and in behind now. You hockey historians are smiling. Everyone else is like, what are you talking about? At the line, shot deflected, goes wide. Chitteroni now. Through traffic, and Salaskin-Ayas gloves it down as a little pushing and shoving will send them both to the penalty box. The official has seen enough of that. Says 5-on-5. Signals to each bench. Penalized player for Sweden is Elliot Latinen. Canada's Bernard Leemans, the Langton, Ontario product. Sarnia. More Ontario players in this tournament than any province represented between the 2 Canadian programs. 5 countries, 6 teams, 7 days. Happy to be here. Friends at TSN will take over for bronze and gold. Happy to drive the bus the rest of the way. Shot from the line, blocked. And sticked ahead by McCaslin. Turning. Trying to activate. Hanrahan was trying to find Schwartz on the backside. Fishes it out. And the Swedes break out. Dumped in. Uli Tornqvist. Chitteroni. Canada off the glass. Knocked down by Johnsson. However, Hanrahan there to take it away from him. Schwartz with Chitteroni. Chitteroni now. Clear down the ice. And a foot chase. Swedish player Alexander Thunbjörn, or Thunbjörn, was the one who gave chase. Spent way too much time looking at that name and got distracted by it, and now the play's back in the Sweden zone. Anyway, behind the scenes for you as Sweden looks to fish it out of their territory. Johnsson, Wysick takes the puck away as he heads off on a change. Forrest on the touch up to McGregor, couldn't get it by, and sent back into the Canadian zone. Wysick fishes it. Sweden's changing, smartly to slap that to vacate the zone for Team Canada as McGregor will chop at it, separating the man from puck, and picked off. The Swedes have a chance in the O-zone as O'Coin rubs his man a little bit into the end boards. Forrest flipped outside, and out comes Canada White. McCamey pauses, waits for the group to change, tries to slide by Swedish forward. Now Wysick in his feet, allows the complete change as Harvey eyes it. F3 they call it. Out comes Sundberg, he'll dump it in the corner. Open there for Milan Sundstrom. But Canada's the other way with numbers. 3-on-2, maybe 4. That off of the glove of Salaskin-Ayas. Maybe got a piece of it, maybe not. Hamilton now. In close quarters, Kuhlman, cross ice, a little more open there. Now Hamilton, lots of room to walk into it. Loses control though, and easily shoveled out as Kuhlman collects it for Canada White. Runs over his man. And that'll force each group offside. That could have been a very high-level collision, but each player kind of found the right lane, one up and one down. Because now we hit the media timeout. We will step in. No, we haven't. Close, 10:09. I almost went to commercial, Eric. Good thing I didn't. That's why we got Jane Ogilvy here. She keeps things in order in the back end. She wags the finger. I'm like, all right, Jane. All right, I got to not get too ahead of myself. Schwartz. And the face-off out there with Wally Phelan. And Henderson back for Canada. Schultz now. Great battle there for Liam Pugh. Boy, has he ever evolved into an excellent hockey player. Not that he wasn't before. Even higher level. And that guy, Schultz, just rips one wide. This is a great look. Hold that thought. Pugh on hat-trick watch, trying to get it towards. Can't get a clean shot. Sweet send it out. Zetterstedt. This kid's an athlete as well. Zetterstedt flips it across. Sweden's changing. Liam Pugh takes it, moves. Pugh and Schultz 2-on-1. Schultz, he scores! The Queen City connection. They love it in Regina, Saskatchewan. And Maddox Schultz, top cheddar where he finished off in Chilliwack, BC in April, and puts his second of the game in as the Western Hockey League connection of a pair of 2010 born players. The kids getting it done for Canada to make it 5-1. Two for Schultz, two for Pugh, one for Kuhlman. 5-1 as Sweden looks to burst in again. Trying to claw back in this hockey game that Canada White has been dominant in. Lost 6-4 to USA in pre-tournament action on Friday night, where Sweden dropped a 6-2 score to Finland, where Finland lost 8-4 to Canada Red today. Charbonneau at the net. That'll likely bring the media timeout. And there's the horn. We will come back to Truro, Nova Scotia shortly for the Under-17 World Hockey Challenge.
Hockey is more than a sport. It builds self-esteem, teamwork, and lifelong friendships.
I just wouldn't be me if it wasn't for hockey. And I think if I lost that, I think I'd lose a big part of me.
Without the Hockey Canada Foundation Assist Fund, thousands of kids like Lamar won't be able to access the game. Donate now to help us ensure every child across Canada has the chance to play.
From a first game to their biggest game. From ESSO medals to gold medals. We're dedicated to Canada's game.
Hit it!
HNLive.ca, the proud streaming providers for Hockey Canada products. This broadcast is brought to you by Source for Sports. Experience the feeling of getting fit like the pros at your local Source for Sports. Their experts will get you into the right gear that fits your game. Goals are the game for Canada White here as an O-zone face-off. And put more pressure on as Calder Hamilton off the side of the goal. Hamilton now. Looking for Bouchard instead. Takes the near option. And Hamilton. How about that body to ensure he gets puck possession momentarily. Sweden making a change. And they'll enter the zone again. Nygren sidestepping the Canadian player at the line. And Sweden retreats. It's Elliot Lahtinen. Up to Nygren. Nygren slides it along and in. Cash Christie, stick on it to stop it. Hamilton, oh boy. Right back into the goal crease for Christie. And ahead for Pugh. That's Swisek, excuse me, not 23. I got excited. Swisek might score the easiest goal of his hockey career. On a lead ahead, an empty goal. Pops it in to make it 6-1 for Canada White. Jaakko Swisek out of Tecumseh, Ontario. 13 points in 13 games for Guelph this year in the Ontario Hockey League. Their second overall pick in the most recent Ontario Hockey League draft. First overall pick was Caden McGregor. And Harvey rips it in. Never a bad idea to have first and second on the same team. That's the Under-17 World Challenge, ladies and gentlemen. On our hnlive.ca calendar, arguably the highest end level of hockey that we do. This tournament is absolutely tremendous. It's an honor to be here to do it. Kuhlman creates a turnover. Might have been a trip. Nope. Play continues. Canada with possession. It's Ben Harvey's shot. Into the corner. After it is Alexander Forrest. Harvey now. Right in front and stick on the ice. Couldn't get a clean shot away. And behind Harvey. One-timer. Shot is blocked. Sundberg up for Sweden. Drops it. Nice back check, Kuhlman. Harvey holds his man up along the glass. Sweden had a burst of about 3 or 4 minutes there. You thought, okay, maybe something is brewing for some offense. It was 4-0, then 4-1. Built some momentum. Since then, Canada has scored a pair. And back in the driver's seat again. Tough sledding for Sweden so far. As the high-end group comes out again, well, there's a lot of high-end groups, they're all of them. But the guys that have scored all the goals in this hockey game is the interpretation of the words that came out of my mouth. Two for Pugh, 2 for Schultz, 1 for Swisek, 1 for Kuhlman. That is the 6-1 lead for Canada White. Canada White, Canada Red. Championship game last year where White picked up the victory. It's Pugh out there now in front for Stroder. Rebound, bouncing around, couldn't get clean stick on it. At the line. Knocked down, Schultz gloves it. Breaks the stick of the Swedish player. He might have wanted a penalty, but it was incidental more than anything. So 5-on-4.5 here. Henderson sidesteps, puck at the net. Schultz on the doorstep. On a swat away at it. Janssen doing the work here for his group as the rest of them change in. The defensemen probably been one of their best players so far, and as his coach told me before the game, and it's pretty easy to see that so far as you've been watching. Here's Nielsen. Short side, blocker save off the stick of Stenlund as Christie got in front of that one. That shot from Lahtinen off a body and into the corner. Stenlund now trying to free it up for Sweden. Having a look, tied up in the corner. Cooper McCaslin there. Referee saying freed up. Puck's free now off the glass. Out of the line. And chipped out for Canada White. Likely be an icing call, I would guess, and it is. So Canada White, in the history of this tournament, 3 gold medals. Last 2 years, and back in 2015, that is it on the medal department as we look at Caden Stroder. Edmonton Oil Kings of the Western Hockey League, and a great person as well, told by Kyle Chipchura, his assistant coach. Jason Smith, their head coach, I believe, is celebrating a birthday this weekend, so saw it on social media. Again, sometimes the words that pop into my brain, it's a good time to say these things. Sweden in the medal department, 10 medals in history. Bronze last 2 years. 2 gold, 2 silver, 6 bronze in the history of the under-17 World Hockey Challenge. Is Schultz. Jansson's shot knocked down, free puck. Stroder off the glass, clears it out of the zone. Haven't had a lot of icings at all today. Right, hot up, might be a chance for Sweden. Cross ice feed, he scores! Louis Carlson, strong side, top shelf, great feed. Called for it on the line change on the quick up. Caught Canada changing, buries it, and Carlson has Sweden back within 4. His first points of the tournament. Louis Carlson for Leksands this year in under 18 has 4 goals and 18 points. Nygren sends it back in again, as expected on a goal. Some momentum, Sweden some belief. Lots of hockey left, 4-goal deficit, not insurmountable. Trying to play optimist, but this level of hockey, anything is possible. And a 2-on-1 now, that's possible for Canada. And a nice save by Salaskaneas, and a big one. An important one for Sweden to continue to have a chance to negotiate with this momentum as Charbonneau erased into the boards by Nord. Chitteroni now trying to fish it out. It's Canada trying to draw that momentum back. Bouchard will slide it in for Canada White. And Sweden's Arvid Billing sends it up in another odd man rush. A weak one, rebound, he scores! Viggo Forsberg, back-to-back goals. Don't go anywhere. The lead is now 3. Another rebound goal. And Sweden capitalizes with a left-hand shot on the left side. Sleeping Giant gets a wake-up call. On Sala is where Forsberg is from. 16-year-old. 3 goals, 20 points for Frölunda's U18 program this year through 10 games. What do the Canadians got for a response? Wasn't expecting a lot of blowouts in this tournament, to be honest. Day number 1, maybe some nerves. Cross ice feed, McCaslin. Time change a factor as well. Kyle Chipchura told me it was. Henderson. Nice save by Salaskaneas. And how big was that save by Salaskaneas now? 2 minutes ago, as Sweden has been able to score from it. Henderson at the net. Steers it out of the way again. Good body position. Opening up some space from Sundstrom. Sundstrom leads it ahead. In tight. He scores! What has happened? Louis Carlson, stick side on Christie, got a piece of it. 6-1 has become 6-4. For Sweden, that is 3 goals. The last 2 were 2 goals in 1:07. 3 goals in just under 3.5 minutes. Carlson's second of the game, and they're back in again. Up to Wysick, now a 2-on-1 for Canada. Wysick, toe drag, cross ice, highway robbery, Salaskinas. Did he get a piece of that? That was insane. That would have been a huge goal for Canada. And if he didn't indeed got a piece of that, that's a massive save for Salaskinas. Head coach Thomas Pannanen told me he thought he had two really good goaltenders in this tournament. Indicative there, Bouchard, as that Forrest shot just missed. It's Canada White now. A little shocked here, trying to get back in the driver's seat. They have a passenger getting a hold of the steering wheel currently. Lead feet ahead to Pugh. Off the heel of his stick. That goes up into the netting and out of play. 28-14 the shots in this period. I believe it was 19-4 at the end of the first. So 10-9, Sweden's leading in the shot department. Much better second, as you would have anticipated, being down 4-0. Sweden now has scored 4 goals. Unanswered. Well, 3 unanswered, excuse me. Brand new hockey game. Pugh knocks it down. And now it's Helty. Trying to hit Nygren cross ice. Hands up, collecting it below the goal line. Swedes more pressure on, looking for quiet ice in front. Short side shot, puck on. Christie has to be sharp. Not a lot of rubber in the opening period for Cash Christie. You wonder, that might have been a factor for some of the pucks that have found behind him. Now giveaway in the D zone for Canada. Dying seconds of period 2. And they're not going to get an offensive sequence because of the offside call. Dodging one there to Canada White. So great response for Sweden. As we have a look at Sundstrom. Milan Sundstrom. 21 points for Modo already. He's the son of Nicholas Sundstrom. NHL alumni. His head coach told me asked who's the better hockey player. Does he like his dad at all a little bit? And end of the period, he get offsetting reffing Miners. The official didn't like at all what he saw. That didn't take much at all. So on the right wing side, the Canadian and the Swedish player were just kind of jawing and pushing and shoving. Or are they just going to take the Swedish player? Is that going to be a power play for Canada? It is. So Oliver Sundberg, a little too aggressive. That'll give Canada White a power play. Takes a bit of momentum away. .4 seconds left in this period to try and do some damage. And they got quite a bit to start period number 3. Schultz drops it off Stroder. Stroder, backdoor Schultz. Nice delivery. Salaskinas with a good save, and Pugh. Some pushing and shoving at the end of the whistle as the Swedish player took exception to some of that aggressiveness by number 23, who has certainly dominated this hockey game so far for Canada White. I think cooler heads will prevail, as we will have a guest from Team Canada White on the other side of the break. This is the Under-17 World Hockey Challenge live from Truro, Nova Scotia. An entertaining period number 2 makes it 6-4 now for Team Canada White, joined by defenseman Connor Hamilton. Connor, what changed in the second period compared to period 1?
I feel like we just got a little bit away from our structure, and that obviously led to 4 goals for them, 2 for us. But I feel like if we just keep sticking to our structure, it'll go the way we want it to.
What does it mean to you to be able to play for Canada, wear that on your chest?
It's honestly special, so special. I'm honored to be able to represent the Leaf and try to come here and win gold.
All right, well, you got a power play to start period 3, or is there something specifically you want to do better?
I feel like getting pucks to the net. Obviously, that's where you score goals, get pucks and bodies to the net. Nothing go wrong through that.
Okay, appreciate your time, Connor. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Connor Hamilton says get pucks to the goal, and that's a good way to be able to score, and that's what Canada did quite often in period number 1. He's a product of Martinsville, Saskatchewan. Remember the Calgary Hitmen of the Western Hockey League. We'll take a short break and come back for period 3. This is the Under-17 World Hockey Challenge on HNLive.ca.
Luca. He is a funny little boy. He's very creative, and he's always helping others when he sees that they need a hand up. He learns online through homeschool. So coming to hockey he's so excited to come to see his friends, to be with the boys, and just have that sense of friendship.
This is my first year coaching Luca. Started out real quiet, but has gained his voice in the dressing room, and has become more comfortable with the kids that he's around, and that's what it's about, making some new friends and being comfortable out there.
Luca began Learn to Skate when he was 3 years old, and he did 2 years of Learn to Skate. And when he had that hockey stick in his hand, he was ready to play.
He brings energy, he brings hustle, he brings an intensity. Hockey is a fast-paced game, and Luca has certainly developed as a hockey player, but I think he's coming along as a young man as well.
If you are able to find a way to the rink and knowing that you can apply for a grant like this, it's step 1. Getting an assist from Hockey Canada has really helped our family and will help yours. Just come and try out and come and apply for the team, and the rest is gold. Just you can do this.
Any program like the Hockey Canada Assist Fund that can take away some of those financial barriers, it allows kids to get the same opportunity as some of their peers that they wouldn't have otherwise had.
The Hockey Canada Assist Fund allowed Luca to be doing what he loves and being with friends and being with kids and having fun.
It's really fun. If you don't have a lot of friends, you can make more friends and maybe score some goals and have fun.
He's learned to believe in himself, and he's become confident in his ability to do what he needs to do out there. Also, he's become more confident with the coaches. I hope Luca's hockey journey is fun. That's what this game is all about.
Thank you, Hockey Canada Foundation, for giving me an assist.
We're getting the national women's team in sleds. We're gonna do a quick little tutorial for them. Dixie's gonna show them how to get in.
New wheels, new wheels.
Yeah.
First of all, thanks for agreeing to do this. This should be pretty fun.
These straps are crissy-crossy, applesaucy.
So you kind of want to start onto one edge and then kind of slide into it. Yeah.
A nice narrow one.
Life's good.
Very humbling.
experience the dream today. I'm scared. Woo!
You can tell they're athletes, that's for sure. Some of them are doing pretty well, some of them not so well.
I'm still working on the stop.
They're taking a liking to the contact, that's for sure.
I forgot the stick had. The stick had like little things on it.
What do you do when you get the puck?
You can't. Skating wasn't bad, but it was with the puck was really hard. I don't know how they stick handle.
So you can have your seat any height you want?
Yeah, so I have like these two like spacer.
Hopefully my coach isn't watching. She might be taking my spot on the team here. I think there's going to be a bunch of sore hips and shoulders tomorrow, but that's what our training staff's for.
This is sick.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Roland, do you prefer to swing the stick that way, or do you prefer to swing the stick that way?
I need these on the ice. Yeah, I'll see you on the ice.
Today we're welcoming 30 kids that are going to be new to the sport, into hockey, fitting them head to toe in brand new equipment, getting them on the ice for a 1 hour first session.
Everybody got their stuff on, everybody ready to play. We're gonna fall a lot, and that's okay. It shows you're trying hard. Roll, up you get. Good, up you get.
It's critical for Hockey Canada to create opportunities in hockey, to learn the game, experience the game in a welcome, safe environment, and we can't do that alone. We're happy to be with Hockey Eastern Ontario here as one of our members. IIHF shares our goal in growing the game, making sure that anyone who wants to play the game and experience our great game has that opportunity. So through their Grow the Game Fund, Hockey Canada has collaborated with the IIHF to introduce what we call the Hockey Canada IIHF Try Hockey Pilots.
Oh, almost got it. Good job.
I think we're getting to introduce a lot of non-traditional hockey families to hockey. We recognize at HEO that there's a lot of barriers to the sport, and I think this opens up doors to new families and new participants joining the game.
We're gonna skate. Now move your right foot a little bit towards me. Your right foot. That's it. Now move your left foot. There you go. You're doing it.
The Game Change initiative, it's really a celebration of successes across the country. Celebration that helps other associations replicate and do similar initiatives in their community.
I think our culture in Canada is so diverse, and a program like this welcomes new families in and makes them feel less intimidated about joining the sport.
That's okay.
Hockey, at its simplest, is fun and should be fun. Hockey really brings people together in communities across the country. It keeps kids active and engaged within their communities. So the more kids that we have playing the game, the more we'll coach the game down the road, the more that we'll officiate the game, and hopefully their children continue to play. So it's really a part of the fabric of who we are as a country.
So for very many of you, that was the very first time with all hockey equipment on a big ice surface like this. And you did a super, super job.
The hope would be is that we have thousands of associations running Try Hockey programs, Learn to Skate programs for families. So the ultimate goal is that this is happening across the country and hopefully across the world.
Dear Hockey, thank you.
You're more than just a game. We can always count on you.
From sunrise to well past sunset, you've created lifelong friendships, unforgettable memories, and united our country time and time again.
From lacing up our skates for the first time to falling in love on the ODR.
And scoring a goal that can be heard from coast to coast to coast.
And the greatest part?
The best is yet to come.
Get the game right at your fingertips. The Hockey Canada Network gives coaches and players the tools to excel in all areas of the game. Drills, skill videos, practice plans, and articles from some of the best in the game are available on your Android or iOS device, anywhere, anytime.
Sweden, quite a comeback in period two. Still some room to grow. Fabian Salaska-Neas had a lot to say for how Sweden responded, including a couple of really, really nice saves to give them the momentum to claw back. However, they got a penalty to kill. Welcome back. Dave Dawson is my name on HMLive.ca. Fabian Salaska-Neas, one of two goalies that head coach Thomas Pannanen told me that he really feels could be the anchor of this group in this tournament. And meeting Thomas when he was at the World Junior A Challenge, or the Junior A World Challenge in Camrose, where they used their under 18, essentially Hlinka Gretzky Cup group, feels that more consistent is this goaltending tandem for this tournament. Eric Serkey, my cameraman producer, happy to have him alongside me in this incredible week in Truro. Jane Ogilvy, volunteer running our score bug. And we're ready for period number 3. Power play for Team Canada White. Their third of the game so far. 0 for 2 they are to my math. Pair of goals for Schultz, 2 for Pugh, 1 for Wysick and 1 for Kuhlman. As Wysick, maybe the easiest goal he's ever scored on the empty net deposit. Out here to start the power play in period 3 for Canada White. Wysick now. Not the entry he was hoping for. Sweden enjoyed it as they'll clear it down and get some changes. Cash Christie, great story on him coming up in period 3. Cross ice feed from Schultz. It's a skate and Sweden. 3 goals unanswered in period number 2. 2 minutes and 2 seconds apart, and another one here, shorthanded, backhand, just missed. Open up catch, Christie, and slashing is the call, which will do it for the Canada power play. Caden Stroder will find his way to the penalty box. Brings up 4-on-4 for less than a minute or so, and Thomas Pannanen will enjoy what potentially will be their second power play of the hockey game. Not nearly as many penalties as the opening contest today. Finland and Canada Red was a parade to the penalty box. Some last second changes here for Pannanen. Wants to get the right personnel on. Now he does have them for 4-on-4. Open things up quite a bit here. Swedish goal scorers. Karlsson has 2. Forsberg has 1, as does Bjurman. Noel Nord on the dot. The second version of Noel Nord I've done internationally. The other one has an H on the end of his last name. Obviously no relation. Tornqvist puts one at the net, blocked by Hamilton. Our interview guest, high stick in front of the official, and official will let the play go. Maybe he didn't see it. It's turned over at the line, but swept back out, and Sweden will tag. As they'll enjoy their power play in 25 seconds, which will be their second, as I mentioned. This guy can turn things up. Zetterstedt, he's got a step. Brings it in. Off the stick, goes wide. Gets his own rebound, Zetterstedt. Loses his twig, though, along the boards. Here's a chance. Cutting at the goal was Karlsson. Looking for a goal number 2 for him. 3, make that actually, excuse me. A great chance for the hat trick. O'Coin will clear it. Sundberg touches it coming out of the box. And Salaska-Neas, this time a little more clean. No Wysick in and around his kitchen. Sweden brings it in, Zetterstedt. The return feed at the line, Jonsson. In tight, Sundberg. Karlsson now. Looks for open ice. Cross ice, tapped in front. Zetterstedt knocked down by the Canadian defender. As O'Coin was the one who did it, he goes off on a change. Long lead feed again, Zetterstedt. Scored a goal like that already in transition. He plays it down below. Karlsson past him. Pace for the Swedish power play. Jonsson, Karlsson misfires on the pass and now goes to the wrong color. Will allow Canada to change. Sweden will get fresh personnel as well with 10 seconds remaining on their player advantage. Nothing really to show for it there. Shots 29-15 unofficially for Canada White. Nord. Steered nicely by O'Coin. Good stick into the corner. Now Forrest. Head up. Right wing option. O'Coin misfired on it. Turned back into the zone. Shot on. Christie blockers it down. Nord right there. Bouncing puck. Canada clears. Liam Pugh turns on the Jets. Here he goes. Pugh with Stroder. Pugh, nice move. Lets it go off the stick and over top of the goal. Yuli Tornqvist took a hat trick away from Liam Pugh. What might have been Salaska-Neas has been good today as well. O'Coin. Up to Pugh. Now to Schultz. Side steps. Maddox Schultz sends it in. Canada White changing. Sweden to retrieve Billing. D to D. Latinen will take it, diagonal dump. Held at the line by Zetterstedt. And Henderson now will send it behind McCaslin. Gitteroni's got yellow all over him, so he looks for an open path. Might have hit Schwartz. Knocked down with the stick. Schwartz now, broken play, gets it. Four bodies converge below the goal line. Sweden almost able to clear it. McCaslin's rising puck over top of the goal. Zetterstedt. Trying to shake off Schwartz, successful. Cross ice, Bjorn. And now up to Wieland, and he'll dump it as Sweden will change. Personnel swap there. You can feel things tightening up a little bit here. McGregor, little nerves, I should say. As the next goal huge in this hockey game. A very comfortable 6-1 lead, now 6-4. Far different game than it was in period one. And Y6 delivery. Salaskaneas with a good blocker save. Hamilton down low. Said structure was the answer in Canada. A little more of that here in period three. Around the boards, Aiden Bouchard. Calm on his edges to Hamilton. Hamilton loses it a little bit. Support below, trying to shovel it in front. And Sweden will take it momentarily and try to evacuate their own territory. Wysick behind the back play, patrolled well by blue and gold. Wysick at the line, Bouchard sends it back below the goal line again. McCamey steps up. Tension was the word I was looking for. He can feel it. Olsen sends it in for Sweden as they change. Repeat. Perimeter zone pressure, exit, line change, repeat. That's been period three so far. Hamilton on the lead ahead, Stenlund. And now down the wing, Harvey. Good hard battle for puck presence as Sweden will take it away again and they exit. 4 Canadian sweaters. Kuhlman knocks it down with a high stick. Play will continue. It's chipped back out through neutral territory again. Not a lot of body contact here. Far more structure for each group. Carlson a twig on it. Forces Canada back in their heels. As O'Coin. Head up. Crosses the line, O'Coin. Might go end to end, O'Coin. Good blocker save by the Swedish netminder. Forrest through a lot of traffic, located well by number 1 in yellow, and he sits on it. As we have a look at Forrest for Canada. Great hockey game for him today as he'll head off on a change. Owen Pinieric, you're free. Hey, doing that, I feel bad. Start talking about a guy and then you're stuck there. Do want to get that story in on the Canadian goalie Cash Christie, which we will hopefully get to this period. It'll of course take a face-off in the Canadian zone. Schwartz tries to go ahead on it. Off the glass, and McCaslin put him right back in their zone. Salaskaneas holds it around. Oh boy, incoming contact, and a good one on Ole Tornqvist, forcing Sweden to ice the puck. So it'll bring it all the way back in the Sweden zone. By the way, this broadcast is brought to you by Source for Sports. Experience the feeling of getting fit like the pros at your local Source for Sports. Their experts will get you into the right gear that fits your game. Really a tale of 3 different hockey games in the 3 period. Dominant Canada period 1, 4 goals. Sweden outscored Canada 4-2 in period 2. No goals to show for it in period 3. A clean slate here. Some incidental contact, collision course. Schultz trying to locate the puck. Heading in, past Pugh. Might send some numbers for Sweden if they're quick. Not if Calder Hamilton has anything to say about it. Good job turning that the other way as Schultz in on it. Schultz now. Fished out by Stroder. Back at the line, Hamilton. Sends it across as Bouchard's offering blocked. Calder Hamilton now. Flips it ahead. Having troubles with the puck, finally just gets rid of it to Bouchard. Never a bad option. Top 5 Western Hockey League pick is Aiden Bouchard. Up for Schwartz now. Canada's changing. Schwartz has got some jump. Chitteroni couldn't receive it well. Too much blue and gold in the way. Sweden Trying to vacate. Canada's got other plans. Schwartz, Chitteroni, time, toe drag, just missed. Zetterstedt flips it wide to Meehan, and he'll send it in. Vian, excuse me. Forsberg in and around the goal. Now enters for some support. Zetterstedt can't get it to the line. Chitteroni, left wing feed, finishing his check on Laymans. And Laymans has a look, takes a number. Wysick trying to force it at the goal. Almost a broken play and a decent scoring chance. Chopped out O'Coin, and he'll bring it back in. Good pace to this third period, even though it feels tense on each side. Forrest now on the retrieval. Check finished hard. Good solid contact. On the up for McGregor. Down the wing. The Ontario League's #1 pick. Couldn't get solid wood, and a good back check by 1-6. Sends it down low again. Pace picking up here for Canada White. Can Sweden answer? They'll look to here. Forrest. Good battle. Sent to the ice, no penalty. McGregor might get some juice at a 2-on-1. See if he can turn on the Jets. McCamey, he blows a tire. Inside, outside, McCamey, McGregor. Cross ice, Hamilton. Blocked. Bouchard sends it below the goal line. McGregor now in front, off of the twig of the goaltender, and Hamilton on it again. Calder Hamilton opens up the hips to the line for Bouchard. Bouchard has to pirouette. Aiden Bouchard. Wysick stops. Not happy with the options. Wysick calmly sends it below to continue things moving. Long period of time without a whistle here. Doink. That's why you wear a face mask, kids. As McGregor's first overall pick smile is still intact. Bouchard to Harvey. Has the puck taken away from him. And Sweden on the left wing feed. Sent into the zone. Hamilton braces for contact. Sent ahead for Roberts. You know, Dad used to turn on the Jets, and he had no problem going into corners. Roberts doesn't either. Harvey below the goal line, where he makes his money and will, in the future, make a lot of money. One day, I would guess. In front of the Sweden bench. We might finish this entire period without a whistle. Nord. Hot across for Zetterstedt, trying to catch him in stride. Zetterstedt engaged with Henderson in the corner. Harvey has to be calm with where that puck was going. The initial thought, a dangerous place to put it. And that's a safe play as they'll change. And Stenlund dances over and gets blown up. Liam Pugh leads the charge on a 2-on-1 to Schultz. He scores! From Kaboom to Katop Cheddar. Maddox Schultz, hat-trick goal. Pew pew from Liam, and Schultz finishes it. There's our first whistle in a while. And there's the first of many, many hat tricks in this tournament, wearing a red and white jersey for Maddox Schultz. 1 and 2 in the Western Hockey League draft. 2 of 3 20-10-year-old players in this tournament. 2010 born, I should say. That 2,000 years old is old for the tournament. Chitteroni, shot on, puck in front, it's in, he scores! And there's a quick strike. Canadian offense restore the 4-goal lead. And Chitteroni, good heads-up play. This plays it in front of the goal. And the Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario native, the 3rd overall pick in the Ontario Hockey League, as his team's 8th of the contest. Never a bad idea. throw it at the feet of the goaltender. Never know what can happen. You just knew that next goal would be big. And for Canada, gave him the juice to get right back out there and get another. Now we'll see what the response is for Sweden, but that is a great response for Team Canada White. Two interesting things. We'll hold that thought. Carlson, right wing feed, glove save Cash Christie, and that will bring us to the media timeout. Well, we will come back to a great story on that young man right there when we return to Truro, Nova Scotia.
Canada is golden!
Women's hockey is on the rise in Canada.
They score!
Don't miss the moment. Team Canada returns to the spotlight to defend gold. And fans across the country rise as one. The 2026 IIHF U18 Women's World Championship is coming to Cape Breton, January 10th to 18th. See the rise. Tickets are on sale now at hockeycanada.ca.
At Source for Sports, we fit skates for everyone from first-timers to first-liners. These Source-exclusive Bauer Supreme Matrix skates are built for power and top-end speed. We actually just fit a pair for Baranovich.
Whoa, these are for Baranovich?
Baranovich? Baranovich?
He needed specific footbeds and a blade profile for his style of play. Mr. Baranovich.
Hey Adam, are my skates ready?
Got him right here.
Thanks, Adam.
Okay, 5. And we are back here in Truro, Nova Scotia, as Cash Christie, the goalie for Team Canada White, his parents are actors. Found that out. Jason LaRose had told us that during the intermission. His dad Warren and his wife Sonia involved in a lot of Christmas movies and I was going to say romantic comedies, but can't think of the term for some reason. Anyway, we'll get to the rest of that story another time, but really, really cool that you never know who you got on a roster. Cash has certainly had a great start to his career and a good game so far. Sweden now would love a response as Canada White use that quick strike offense to regain that 4-goal lead there in period number 3. Sundstrom, and doesn't like what he sees, will turn it around. The 2 goals for Canada, 10 seconds apart from Schultz and Chitteroni. Schultz and Liam Pugh, just an incredible contest today for those two, and Liam Pugh's huge hit was really what started things out on that odd player rush, which those two guys have done a lot of damage on odd man, odd player in this contest. Referee wants him to play it. Canadians are able to fish it out. McCaslin. Right onto the tape. Nice quick heads-up play. Thought he might have been going wide, and Kuhlman takes it and sends it in for Team Canada White. They're going to change. Team Sweden, they have a day off tomorrow. We'll play Czechia on Tuesday. Czechia and USA both off today. They will engage in preliminary round action tomorrow. 3 days of preliminary as Sweden is in. Cross ice feed, and what a save by Christie as he laterally activates, sits on it, and incredible by the Canadian goaltender. Now it can finish that story, probably, Eric, I'm guessing. So, Cash Christie, actors his parents are, and told that, I didn't remember I think he said his first name was it Hans, or I don't remember what Jason said, so I don't want to confirm it completely, but Cash is actually his middle name. So I want to make sure I get all the information correct on that, but his mom and dad involved in, Eric, I can't think of the term in the movie. I want to say Christmas movies. My mind is going blank. 3-hour time change, Kyle Chipchura, we talked about it. it's a problem. Canada penalized, power play for Sweden. That's the important story right now. Slashing the penalty call. So Sweden, a great time right now it would be to get back and build some momentum. 3 goals in 3 minutes and 2 seconds in the second period. Swedish group able to strike quickly. Nielsen awaits, back at the line again. Hanrahan got a stick on that. And a hard battle on the wall. There's Ville Olofsson trying to free it out for Sweden. McCausland with a rolling puck. Oh boy, thought he was going to turn and fire it right up the middle. Might have been a dangerous decision, but cooler heads prevail, as it has been said, and I've said that too many times in my broadcast career, and should come up with other crutch words. Yuli Tornqvist now behind the net, leaves it there for teammate Sundstrom. Schwartz there. Long lead feed, it's a breakaway. Carlson, doink! A goal post away from a hat trick for Sweden. Right on the tape. Carlson had a look outside of the goal post. 20 seconds left in the power play for Sweden. 4 minutes left in the hockey game. 8-4 the score in the opener. Didn't think it was going to be 8-4 in this one, but what do I know? Janssen, cross ice, tap in front. He scores. 19 in one jersey has a hat trick. 19 on the other side says, what you can do, I can also do, sir. Power play goal for the Swedes. And he taps it in for goal number 3, does Carlson. Right at the tail end of the player advantage. To 5. Okay. How's this one going to finish? What has Maddox Schultz got to say about it? Him and Pugh and Stroder out there for Canada White. Dominated the score sheet today. Most 3 players have. Nord. Helty's in for Sweden. Nord now. Retrieval. Pugh off the glass. I've called a number of games for Liam Pugh in my broadcast career. I will have to say, the level that he has reached already as a 16-year-old, beyond what I would have thought he would have hit at this level. He just continues to improve day after day. I have been wrong a number of times in my career, and on Liam Pugh, my prognostication off a little bit. What an athlete, and what an incredible game today. I knew he was really, really good, but this kid is elite, and he's got it now. Pugh sends it in for Canada White. What a performance on the biggest stage of his age group, and in my opinion, he's been the best player on the ice. Wysick. Back at the line. O'Coin fires it. Goes off of a Swedish stick and at a play. We'll have the player of the game interview. So after the game, we'll have the national anthem of the winning team. And if the score holds, you can understand who that would be. As the first overall pick in the Ontario Hockey League makes a plan for the opening face-off, for this face-off. Then we'll step aside and then come back with an interview of the player of the game. Wysick with a goal today. So 12 goals in game 1, 13 in game 2. Okay. Set a high bar for day 2. McCausland Below the goal line, McGregor. Wysick trying to fish it. Stapled. Lahtinen into the end boards. Sweden breaks out Carlson. Imagineers earmarked for player of the game. Less than 100 seconds to go on day number 1 of the Under-17 World Hockey Challenge, and a pile behind the goal. We'll bring up a face-off. So tomorrow's schedule, a quick look at that. Open things up with Finland and USA at 3:30 Atlantic. Canada, White, Czechia. We'll close things out tomorrow. Again, 3 days of preliminary. Each team plays 2 games. Wednesday off, Thursday quarterfinal, Friday semis, Saturday championship. Squeaking by was Schwartz off the draw, leading a 3-on-1. Schwartz fires, he scores! May the Schwartz be with you. It's hanging there, I took it. Nice shot, kid. Puck was hanging there, he took it. 5-hole. And you can call the decision desk on this one, as Canada White will pick up a victory. Nice play. A lot of options on a 3-on-1. A goalie sometimes is thinking pass across. Second situation, he's thinking player wants a far pad shot for a rebound. High quality player that Schwartz is, aware of both situations, sends it through the wickets. Jacob Schwartz, the Victoria Royals product in the Western Hockey League. Vancouver native, and first round pick of the Victoria Royals back in 2024. Makes it 9-5. Another day at the office for Canada. Nord goes north, drops it off. Helty fires. Momentum from Christie, might have got a piece of it on the way by. Shots 36-20 in favor of Team Canada White. Forsberg on the up, Forrest. As Harvey has a look, sees teammates are changing, to the line for Forrest. Plays it into an open corner as the seconds tick away. Team Canada White, a big first period. Sweden clawed back in period 2, and Canada pulled away again in period 3, allowing them a 9-5 final. Hat-trick for Maddox Schultz, 2 for Liam Pugh. Schwartz had 1. Kuhlman as well. Wysick were for Sweden. Oh, and Chitteroni as well. Sweden, Carlson with a hat-trick, Forsberg, and Bjurman, the goal scorers. As we'll line up for the Canadian National Anthem, we'll go in-house to public address announcer Roger Soret to take us through the player of the game announcements. After that, the anthem will step aside and return for our player of the game interview. Roger, it's all yours. trick for Louis Carlson. No surprise there.
Player of the game for Team Canada White, joueur de match pour l'équipe Canada Blanc. Le numéro 19, le numéro 19, Maddox Schultz.
Maddox Schultz, player of the game. Easy pick there with the hat trick as well. One of many, many player of the games we'll see in him in his future.
Now we would have to ask that you please rise if you are able and remove your hats and caps for the playing of the national anthem for Canada. Now nous vous prions maintenant de vous lever, si possible, et de retirer vos chapeaux et casquettes pour l'interprétation de l'hymne national d'équipe Canada.
Maddox Schultz will be our guest on the other side of the break when we return to Truro, Nova Scotia. Nine to 5, Team Canada White wins their opening game of the Under-17 World Hockey Challenge. We are now joined by player of the game, Mr. Hat-Trick today, Maddox Schultz. Maddox, the last time we had you in HN Live, you were winning a TELUS Cup, and now you got a hat trick to start things out of the tournament. Couldn't ask for a better start today, could you?
No, I probably couldn't. Feels good to get the win. Obviously, to lead this team to a win to start the tournament, obviously feels really good.
Yeah, great start in period 1. Things maybe got away from you in period 2. What did you get back to in period 3 that was different in the second frame?
Yeah, I think we had a hot start to the game, so I thought we got back to doing what we did in the first period in that third, and yeah, that kind of propelled us to the win.
Describe what you have built already in the chemistry with Liam Pugh. I mean, Stroder was great on your line as well, but specifically Liam Pugh, what you guys have been able to accomplish already.
Yeah, I think we had like 3 2-on-0, 2-on-1 goals, so yeah, pretty special player, super fun to play with, and he wants it just as bad as anyone else, so yeah, obviously feels good playing for the Crest.
Yeah, Maddox said, obviously getting to wear the Canada on your chest. What does that mean to you personally?
Yeah, it means the world. Growing up watching Team Canada games from Vancouver 2010 when I was born to you know, the 4 Nations, all the way up. I've just been watching Canada, and obviously to put on this jersey and you know, see your last name on the back, it feels amazing.
All right, well, congrats on the great game today. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Maddox Schultz, well-spoken, as good as his hockey game is, and we have heard incredible things from him throughout his career already, and a very bright future for that very bright young man. Well, for the very bright Eric Surkey, my camera guy, Jane Ogilvy, our scorebug operator, volunteered today. My name is Dave Dawson. Thanks so much for watching day 1 of the Under-17 World Hockey Challenge from Truro, Nova Scotia on HN Live in partnership with Hockey Canada. We'll be back tomorrow for a pair of games for you. Good night from Truro.